Okay, we're going to be factoring polynomials. Now, let's talk about how we got the polynomials. We started off with two binomials and they were multiplied. So let's say we start off with a 3x plus 1 and a 2x minus 3. And we start the FOIL process. Multiplying the first together, we'll get the 6x to the second power. Then we multiply the outside together, these two guys here, and we get 3x times negative 3, and that gave us negative 9x. Then we multiply the inside together, 1 times 2x, that gave us the 2x. And finally we multiply the last together. I'm sorry, here's the last. 1 times negative 3, which is negative 3. Then we combine these two to get a negative 7x, and these two came down. So basically, we're going to undo this process and see if we can go from a polynomial like this back to the binomial that it used to be. And that's what factoring into binomials is. It's attempting to turn one of these into this, or I'll write it underneath here. Trying to turn this back into the 3x plus 1 that it used to be, 2x minus 3. So I'm going to show you that process. So we want to return this to what it used to be. So I'm going to start off and say it used to be two binomials. So I'm going to write the two parentheses for the binomials. And then we're going to ask ourselves, okay, first, what was the 2x to the second power? Well, we can safely say that that used to be a 2x times a 1x in the first place. Now, what about the last place? Well, 2 here. Now, 2 is actually a 2 times 1. But I'm not sure if 2 goes here and the 1 goes there, 2 times 1, or is it a 1 times 2? So we're going to try both. Let's first try 2 times 1. Again, we're finding out what things make a 2. Now, let's multiply the inside. We get 2 times 1x, which is 2x. And then we multiply the outside, 2x times 1, which is 2x. Then we're going to see if we can make a 5x. And the rule for making the 5x will be this. This right here says a positive means the signs have to be the same, either both positive or both negative, but the signs have to be the same. And can the signs be the same and get a 5x? And the answer is no. So, because that can only give you a 4x. So we're going to try this again. And this time we're going to say 2x times 1x, and that's for the 2x squared. But for the 2, instead of a 2 times 1, let's try a 1 times 2. And we'll see what happens. So inside, 1 times 1x is 1x. On the outside, we have 2x times 2, which is 4x. And now the question is, can we use same signs on these two and get a plus 5x? And the answer is yes. If I use plus and plus, this will give me a 5x. So the plus and plus here, the first and second plus here, will be the first and second plus there. And that's what this used to be before it was multiplied. Okay, let's try this one. What was a 5x squared minus 12x plus 4 before multiplication? So let's put the parentheses here. Now, a 5x squared, I believe that used to be 5x times a 1x. Okay, 5 times 1 is 5, x times x is x squared. Now 4, there's lots of choices for a 4. A 4 could have been 4 times 1, it could have been 2 times 2, or 1 times 4. So 4 has a lot of choices. So again, we got the 5x squared, but the question now is the 4. So I'm going to try a 4 times 1 first. Let's see what happens. So let's try 4 times 1. 4 times 1 will give us 4x. And 5 times 1, 5x times 1 will give us 5x. And now I look here. Plus means same signs. Can I have same signs here and get a negative 12x? Nope, because if I use a negative and a negative here, that's a negative 9x. So I can't use same signs and get a negative 12x. So let's try this again. Let's start over. And we're still going to multiply 5x times 1x. But instead of a 4 times 1, let's try a 2 times 2. So 2 times 2. All right, so 2 times 1x gives me 2x. And 5x times 2, that gives me 10x. Now, same question. Can I have the same signs and get a negative 12x? And the answer is yes. I can use same signs of negative and negative, and that will give me a negative 12x. So the first one should be negative and the second one should be negative. First one's negative and the second one's negative. Okay, number 3. Okay, let's get this ready. And so 3x squared, that's first. That used to be 3x times 1x. The 2 is either a 1 times 2 or a 2 times 1. I just don't know which one. So let's try the 2 times 1 first and see if that works. 2 times 1. So 2 times 1x is 2x, and 3x times 1 is 3x. Now the question is, can we use different signs on these and get a 5x? And the answer is no. We can't use different signs, because if one was negative, the other one's positive, that'll give us 1x. We can't get the 5x. So let's change this. Still use the 3x times the 1x, but instead of 2 times 1, we're going to try 1 times 2. So in the middle, 1 times 1x is 1x. And the outside, 3x times 2 is going to be a 6x. And now back to the question. Can we use different signs and get a plus 5x? And the answer is yes. The different signs I would use would be a negative here and a positive there. Those are different signs, and they do give you a plus 5x. So first negative, then positive. So first negative and then positive. Okay, next. 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. Let's see. The 6x squared, that used to be a 3x times a 2x. Now the 3, we have lots of choice. No, sorry, a couple choices. Either 1 times 3 or 3 times 1. Let's try 3 times 1. Let's see if that works. 3 times 1. That will give me 6x, and this will give me 3x. Now, can we use different signs on these two, different signs, and get a negative 7x? And the answer is no, because if we had different signs here, these will give us a 3x. So let's try again. This time with using 3x times 2x, but instead of 3 times 1, we're going to use 1 times 3. So inside, we're going to get 1 times 2x, which is 2x. And outside, we're going to get a 3x times 3, which is 9x. And the question is, can we have different signs and get a negative 7x? And the answer is yes. I can use different signs, a plus here and a negative here, and that will give me a negative 7x. So it'll be a plus first, then a negative. Oh, sorry. Plus first, and then a negative. And that's it.